So, guys, our guest today, good friend of mine, Ernie Romero. He's got his own business and stuff. He came to me with a great idea, and the idea is we're going to start like a GoFundMe page, sort of. He wants to donate $250 out of his own pocket, and we thought, as the Beard Bros, we would add a $250 on top of that, so $500. What we're thinking is we want to help those that are in need of something financially. Maybe you know somebody that has, a bill that's fixing to be turned off because they don't have the funds. Maybe somebody needs groceries for them and their family. There's several reasons that people need help. And if you would like to help or you know someone that needs help, there's going to be our contacts. You know how to get a hold of us through Facebook, through Instagram. I'm sure some of y'all know us personally. You can contact us. Tell us who might need help. Also, if you want to help with the situations, I'm going to put my Cashapp in the description below. If you can afford $5, $20, $100, there's no cap. You feel free to donate what you feel is the right amount. And what I'm going to do is he's going to cash at me his $250. We're going to I'm going to give cash to him and he'll cash at me the $250. And I'm going to take a screenshot. We're going to post it on Facebook. And we're going to, every time someone donates any amount, I will screenshot it and I will throw up that copy of the screenshot in the comments. So you can tally up the totals. Today would technically be Friday, June 5th. We're only going to open it for a week. So next Friday, June 12th, we will close it. Whatever amount we come up to, there's not an amount we're looking for. And then, like I said, depending on what comments we get or whoever needs help, that's where we will start. We're wanting to distribute to many people. So you guys want to help by either donating or help by letting us know who might need any help. You guys got anything to add?
Yeah, definitely. It was a situation that I came across, paying a water bill. I know this is some tough times that we're living in right now. And with this COVID going around, a lot of people are not back to work. And, I had a situation where, there was a lady having a hard time paying her water bill. And God put it in my heart, let's do something, if we can. As a community, let's get together and let's go out and do something nice for somebody. Let's pay it forward.
Yeah, like he said, people need help. And I feel like we got the perfect platform to show off what we can do in our community and help out everybody or anybody we can. I mean, the number of unemployment right now is skyrocketed, and I feel like we could contribute, us three, imagine the 365 of y'all, what y'all could do. $1 from one of y'all, that's already 365 from y'all. And that'd be crazy.
That's a good way of putting it.
That'd be crazy.
If everybody that watches donates $1, we're not asking to clear your bank account. We're just, and that's the thing. We're not looking for our own benefits. This is completely for whomever needs it.
Yeah, it's not for the news to pick up. It's not for the TV, not for a camera. It's literally for the person that's or the people. It might be multiple people that are gonna get the benefit of us helping them out.
Exactly. Yes, and that's all we're trying to do is reach out to those that actually need a lot of help, because this has just been, from COVID to everything else adding up, there's been hardship of times. Let's try to help those that are in need. So again, if you want to help donate any bit of cash that you can, my Cash App will be below. Again, I will post a screenshot that we've actually done our part, that we're the real deal. And from there, we'll see how you guys help us out. Again, even if it's $1, I don't care. I think whoever receives that $1 will be thankful for it.
Exactly. Whatever God puts in your heart. I mean, there's somebody that's always going to be in need out there, and we just got to pull together, like I said, man. And I want to thank you guys, man, for giving me this opportunity to come out here.
Of course. And again, I want to make sure that you guys understand that this was not my idea, wasn't his idea. It was literally his idea. It was Ernie's idea to actually come and do the donation. So, thank you guys, and let's get the podcast rolling.
Do this.
Welcome back to the Beard Bros podcast. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Hope everybody's having good vibes, everything. Our guest today, good friend of mine, Ernie Romero. How you doing, my dude?
What's happening, guys?
What's going on? Before we get started, remember, like, subscribe, road to 500, get us there. We're at like 365. We only need like 135 more people.
Dude,
come on.
Let's get it.
I'm sorry, just...
No, go for it.
I ain't gonna lie, I was a little disappointed. I was like, damn, we might not get to 500. Then Wednesday's video turned up, and I was like, we're getting to fucking 600. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ. Bro,
I don't know.
It jumped like 20 subs yesterday.
It did. Like, you guys did kill yesterday.
And people were texting, calling. Like, they were like, your video's killing it. And I was like, thanks. So
yeah, yesterday was crazy,
really?
Man. And it's when you least expect it. Because that food was amazing. You know what it was, bro? The people that own Tacos Pita, they're the reason it went off. You know why? Because, bro, they were just, you know how we're trying to pay back?
Mm-hmm.
They are the people that give, and they don't expect anything in return, but then when they get it, they know they've done their part by giving, and they're just receiving the blessings. Because we get there, bro, they give us those shirts. And it's not like we expect anything anyways, but just out of their kindness, they were like, hey, here's these shirts. Cool. And we're like, what the heck? And then,
where can I get one of those shirts?
Those are one of a kind. We didn't even get the makeup.
Like, yeah,
those are cool.
It was pretty
and sick. Then just the hospitality, you know, like, you know, when you go to like those families and they're just, they'll feed you, you can eat as much as you want. Yeah. And that's how we felt, man. They were just like, boom. And then yesterday's video just killed it.
I know.
Like, within 2 hours, it was well over 100, like 10 likes. I was like, oh, man. And just, you guys did a good job. So, again, if you're watching and you have not subscribed, please press the subscribe. And if it's not letting you, say maybe you click the link off Facebook. In the top right hand, it says open YouTube app or open app. Click that. It'll take you to the YouTube app. It'll be signed into your name. Then you click it. Like, we're so close. We're like 5 videos away from 100. We want to get to 500 subs. That'd be awesome. So
500 subs for the $500. Let's go.
That's true too.
Nah, we ain't gonna get $500, but you know, they get us 500 subs.
Yeah,
cool.
They get us 500. So,
well, we ready.
How are things going with you, man?
Dude, I'm blessed, man.
You're blessed?
Blessed. Everything's going. Everything's falling in order for me. I'm just happy to be alive and COVID-19 free.
Hey, man, that is good. That's a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
So tell us about your business here. What do you do and how'd you get started?
Oh, it's a long story.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Whoosh, man, I started back in. I think everybody's familiar with the TV shows. You know, Flip This House. This.
Oh yeah.
That's how it started. It got my interest back then because back in 2005. That's when the market was really good. You know, people were buying houses and flipping them, and TV shows were coming out and stuff, and it kind of, piqued my interest. So I think everybody's heard of Armando Montelongo. He was from San Antonio, Texas. Mm-hmm. Well, I bought his book, and at the time, one of my good friends, Mr. Jonathan Daniels, used to be a police officer here, and he moved to, I think he went to Nebraska or Arkansas somewhere. But his grandfather used to do that. He used to buy rental properties, but he would buy houses on the east side. Just dumps. Yeah. And he would put like $1,000, and he'd rent them out the next day, and he started fixing up his houses and stuff. And one of his uncles came from San Diego and bought a house, for $20,000, and we fixed it up. We shampooed the carpets, painted, and he turned around and sold for $50,000. Made, I was like, wow, man, he made some good money. I'm like, I think you can come up, find a good deal at $20,000, and that's how it started, man. Lo and behold, I came across this house on the east side, and it took me about 4 months to get my first deal.
Okay.
And it's crazy how I got it, because the son inherited the house. The father passed away, he inherited the house.
Okay.
But the crazy thing about that, they lived in Oregon. So that house had been sitting there for a long time, and I've seen it, like, oh, this house is still... Well, they tried renting it out, and they got a bunch of bad people and stuff, so they decided just to leave it. So I went to the neighbors, hey, I have the key to the house, and I have the guy's phone number, you want to give him a call? I'm like, yeah. And so I told him, I said, this house needs a lot of work. And I said, I put my mind, my thinking cap on, like, how could I get this house without actually buying it? So yeah, I was able to put it on a real estate contract with the guy with $1,000 down, which I had my old '94 pickup that I went and got a title loan on it, and that's how I was able to pay that first $1,000. And but that was back in 2009. That's when the market crashed. I mean, the real estate market was horrible.
Oh, damn.
And I was able to get a credit card and fix it up with $10,000. Sat on it for 12 months.
Damn.
12 months, and I think I had 4 people look at the house. And the house was nice, and I told myself, wow, this is going to be the end of my career, It was like one deal, but the market was bad.
Right.
So I did my research and stuff. I started looking into, well, how could I do it? Well, it's, real estate, it's a monopoly, You just got to know how to play the game. So I thought, well, I can refinance it. I know I have equity. So I used that money, and I paid off the guy for the house. And the money that I had left over, I reinvested into my education. Like, I went to seminars. I'm like, it wasn't something that, man, I spent a lot of money, but I knew this is what I wanted to do. So I started going to these seminars in Albuquerque, El Paso, and then one, I did a 12-week course. It cost me $7,000.
Damn.
But I used that money because I knew this is what I want to do. I knew I had to educate myself, because this is a type of business that you can use your ass off. You know what I mean? And that's how I got the ball rolling. I had to sacrifice at first, but you know what, man? 10, 11 years later, man, it paid off. It paid off.
That's a long
A
time.
long time. Yeah, it wasn't
11 years?
Yeah, it was.
And you took a complete gamble.
It's a complete gamble. Yeah.
This was before you got your education and stuff that you bought that house, right? So you took a complete gamble to redo this entire home.
Yep.
Didn't sell right away.
Mm-mm.
And to only have 4 people look at a house in a year, that's not a lot.
Actually, it didn't even sell. I was on a contract with the homeowner.
Okay.
I said, I'll sell it in 12 months, I'll pay you back. I was able to negotiate that contract that way. So for him to put it on a real estate contract, the terms were, if I don't sell it within 12 months, if I put money into this house, he gets that house back.
So did he get the house back?
Well, no, I refinanced it and paid him off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's where that came in.
At the 11th hour, I was like, I refinanced it and just...
You were just like, okay, this is it. The last seconds.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
what did you end up doing with the house?
Well, actually, I didn't refinance it. My little brother helped me out, because at the time, my credit was horrible.
Okay.
Because I had just gone through a divorce, and my brother bailed me out on that one. So we still own the house, but now we've knocked out probably $30,000 in equity into the house.
Damn.
So now that the market's good, we can
Sell
it. Yeah.
Probably even sell higher.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So I give all my props to my little brother, because if it weren't for him, I think my flipping career would have ended right there.
Damn.
Yeah. But I knew this is what I wanted to do, because times are tough, man, and you gotta have that side hustle somewhere.
Right.
And you can never go wrong with real estate as long as you educate yourself and you learn, and because it's not easy, man. You have to have a thick skin to do this business.
Okay.
You're not gonna be rich tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not rich, but I'm just saying, it takes time. And every house I've done, over 25 houses, and every house has been a learning curve. I've learned something from every deal that I do.
That is good though, because a lot of people will skimp on what they do with their houses. And I've always been kind of, not in everything, but in the most part, like, I know if you put the money now and you pay for whatever, it's going to pay for itself in the long run. Because when you try to skimp on something that you're skimping on, it's when that goes to bite you in the ass.
We see it all the time where I work.
Oh yeah, he works at McCoy's.
So I see it all the time. People are like, will this work? I'm like, it'll work. It's this much money. You got a cheaper one?
Yeah.
Like, it's not. Yeah, there you go. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Make it work, I guess. I don't tell them it's gonna work. I'm like, make it work.
Well, it's not really your job to try to convince them. They should know.
But it's like you see it, and me and one of my coworkers are like, well, another person off the list that we're not gonna let her work on our homes because it's just half-assed.
Yeah, that's something that I learned, man, because when you're establishing yourself, especially like you're a company, you don't want to have that reputation, man, because you're selling a home, and the thing is, you don't want to just throw paint on the walls, man. You want to fix what needs to be fixed and fix it right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, if you hire a contractor for every flip, you're not gonna make any money.
No.
But that's why you sub everything out and you do things right, and you have, you pull the correct permits and stuff like that. That way, it's it's not on you anymore.
Right.
You've done everything right, and I've had some situations where we put a new AC unit and it went bad, and just problem after problem after problem, and you just got to do your best to take care of the person that bought the house, because at the end of the day they're going to be like, oh, don't buy it from this guy or whatever. They just
That's true. You do build a reputation, and the more you work on houses, the more of your stuff's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if more times than none your stuff is crappy, even half the time, it's gonna be noticed.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't gonna refer you to anybody. They're gonna be like, they're gonna do. You might get lucky and they do the good job 1 out of the 2 times, but then why run the risk?
Why run the risk? Plumbing, electrical, heating and cooling is the most important thing in a house.
Right.
That's something you don't cut corners on.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a learning process, and I've enjoyed it. I've stressed out. I've lost all my hair because of it, and I don't know, pulling my hair because of all these guys.
I don't worry. I see it all the time. We have a woman and a guy that come in and flip houses, and they tell me all the time. They're like, it's not easy, bro.
Yeah, it's not easy.
They're like, we have to do most of the work by ourselves most of the time because you sign so and so that's a big name. He's charging you more than the house is worth, and now you're fucked out of that money because you're trying to sign a high-end contractor.
Yeah, because what a contractor does, he subs everything out. They don't do all the work. He has his workers, but they have other jobs,
Yeah.
Right.
So they sub out, and the person that you're the thing that they have is they have the license.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But it's one of those deals, man. You have to buy the house right, because your budget could be $25,000, and that $25,000 can turn into $50,000. You know what I mean? And just like that. And man.
So do you usually do like your own stuff? I'm assuming you do everything pretty much yourself.
Not necessarily. I used to. As a matter of fact, my daughter, when she was 3 years old, I did my first deal, and me and her mom, we did it ourselves. We did all the paint, we did all the texture, we did all the flooring, and then it was just too much.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and a lot of people don't realize you have to really dedicate yourself to it. Because if you pay everybody to go paint the wall and do this and do trim and you don't know how to do nothing, well, I mean, you're not going to make very much, you know, at the beginning. Because you gotta know how to flip a house. You don't just buy the house and say, well, this house is gonna be worth, because everybody thinks their house is worth $1 million.
Yeah, everybody thinks their house is the best house.
Yeah. And no, you have to, it's a numbers game. That's all it is a numbers game. You have to be up with the market. You have to know what the house sold down the block for, you know, the same square footage and all that good stuff. You know, you have to do your due diligence, man, on this type of business. You have to do a lot. And me, I can go and assess a property within 20 minutes.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Can you just walk in there and be
I can walk in there and
I can make that. Profit here. Okay, sign a contractor here.
Yeah.
Oh, electrician come in to fix that. Yeah, I figured you could do that shit. Because that's how I am. Like when I'm calculating a roof, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ways for the roof. Let me get this. It's a 512 pitch. All right.
Yeah.
It's kind of that's how you probably do. Just walk in there.
Well, when the very first house that I got, it was crazy because I walked in there and I would spend hours and hours because it was my first flip, so I was so excited. Now I was like, all right, I was okay, let's get it done. Damn. You know, but man, I would spend hours. I would get the key from the old lady that lived next door, because she had the key, and I was so excited, man. I was pumped because it was my first deal. And man, I would spend hours, you know, but it's crazy, man. You have to have a vision. You can't just be, okay, this is the one deal, you know what I mean? You gotta think far ahead. You know, you gotta have a why. Why am I doing this? Why? When you find that why, you're gonna be successful, because you're gonna dedicate yourself to it. It's like a welder, electrician, a plumber. Man, if you wanna, you know, be successful at that, you're gonna study for it. You wanna be the best. And that was my mentality coming into this. Like, you know, why can't I be successful? That was my mentality. Like, I barely got through high school, man, like I was telling you yesterday. You know, I have friends that have gone to college and stuff, and, they did good, you know, but they're stuck at their career as, you know, wherever they work, you know, they're just stuck there. You know, me, I was like, I've been at Excel Energy for 21 years, man, but I didn't let that stop me. You know what I mean? You have to think outside the box, you know, like, and my why was, one time I was, I had gone through my divorce. Child support kicked in, man, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, man. And I remember going, my daughter was 3 years old, my son was 7, and we went to McDonald's. They wanted an ice cream. I went in there, ran my card, and it declined. I didn't have no other card, I didn't have no cash on me. I was so embarrassed. I couldn't even buy them an ice cream. But that was my turning point. Like, I'm never gonna live like this. I'm gonna bust my butt. That, you know, I don't have to ever worry about money like that ever again. Yeah. And that was my why, man. And that was my turning point, man. And you know, when you don't find that turning point, man, you're always gonna be stale, man. You're always gonna, you know what I mean? So
that's crazy.
No, you see it a lot. Like, people go in there and they buy, like you said, like 30,000, 50,000. Well, now it's probably like 60s and 70s. Like, just because all of them get what is it called, foreclosed by the city. So you got to go through the city now. Most of them.
The foreclosures are done through the banks.
That's what it is.
The bank takes the mortgages
so it's kind of harder to negotiate the price, because they're already set price and it's kind of just there, huh? This is fucking.
Not necessarily, man. That's the thing. That's why, a lot of people see these gurus, real estate gurus on TV and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, come to our seminars, whatever, you know, you can be rich, you know, and oh, I just sold, $20,000, I made this much money, and people are like, yeah. The thing, you go there, you'll spend $2,000 for a 2-day event, and not everybody comes out, and you have to want to do this. It takes a lot out of you. I mean, it destroyed my marriage, because you're constantly working. I mean, you have to be on top of things. You got deadlines. You have budgets, man. You have people's money. You have your money that is tied up. You know what I mean? So it takes a lot out of you. But I was willing to sacrifice that because my kids. I love my kids. I figure if anybody's gonna pave the road for them, it's gonna be me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That way they don't have to go through what I do. But I don't know if that's a good thing to do that for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have to go out there and get their.
It is different because I don't know. My parents would say that about me, that I always was the one that I wanted to learn my way, even if I fucked up and I ended up in some stupid trouble or I whatever. I always wanted to learn my way, but like I think as I've grown and matured, it's like I've understood that our parents, they know, they've either been through it or they've experienced someone else close to them being through it, and they know, like, if they're telling me not to do something or this is how to do something or save your money or all these things, it's not because they're trying to like put me in a bubble, like a safe bubble. It's just they're preparing me for life.
Right.
And it's because they've experienced those kind of things already,
Right.
so they know what it takes to be, like you said, they're not the richest, but they've managed their money so well that they don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Like they do well, and so that's what I think they've tried to prepare us for, is just to do well. You don't have to be rich to have a good life.
You don't have to be rich at all, man. All you have to have is morals and ethics, and you gotta believe in God. Those are things that I base my life on.
Right.
I'm not the perfect Christian. I don't think none of us are. But if it weren't for God and my faith in God, I don't think I'd get anywhere without God.
Yep.
Yeah.
He promises all the promises.
Yep.
And so I believe in that. But when you mention ethic, that's something you can't teach somebody.
You can't teach.
They either got it or they don't. And they're going to either, work hard, whether it's going to school or doing their work or, busting their ass doing whatever job they have. Like that part, you don't get taught. You just have to have it.
Yeah, I was blessed to have good parents, that taught me hard work and everything. And I remember as a little boy, being 13 years old, we hang out with the bad crowd, little friends. And I remember they used to have a little, they used to call it the Bobcat Cafe. A couple of my friends knew how to pick the lock in the back.
Oh, shit.
And they would get the sodas from the back, and I was the chicken, so I was the lookout guy. I was the lookout guy, but I remember being a kid, and I remember feeling so guilty that I told my mom about it. And she says, "You know what, son?" She goes, "I bet you didn't even finish that soda, huh?" And I said, "I couldn't drink it." She says, "Yeah, anything that is stolen will never taste the same." So I remember that. At 12 years old, I remember that, and that stuck with me, man.
Really?
Yeah, so all the people breaking into cars and thieving and stuff like that, not working. You work hard for something, somebody comes and steals your stuff, man.
That's what I think I learned, and this was probably more recently, is like, in the moment I would be upset when I would throw a party and something got broken or something was stolen or there was a mess to be picked up, and I'd be like, man, nobody helps me, or why the fuck did they steal that, or I don't know why this is broken, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
But it's not about everybody. All those fingers were just pointed back at myself. It's like, I'm the one that broke it. I'm the one that stole it. I'm the one that made this mess. I'm the one to blame because I'm allowing just any fucking buddy in my home.
Yeah.
And to try to take control of the home with people I don't know completely, or just too many people to try to watch everybody at one time. Yeah, those things are going to happen, and there's no one to blame but myself.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just something I had to learn the hard way too, was like, when is enough going to be enough? Like, am I going to continue to have to replace this, replace that, clean that, do this?
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I don't know, man. It's just, as you age, you get mature, but then it's still like every day you learn something.
You learn something, yeah. You get tired of it, and yeah. But there's a lot of people that don't change. There's a lot of people that are stuck there.
That is true. I know a lot of people like that, and I'm not one to like try to say I'm better or anything. But yeah, it took me a long time to finally realize I needed to change.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went through all that shit in order for me to finally be like, hey, enough is enough. Like, I got to get my shit together someday.
Yep.
Or maybe it would have never happened.
Yep.
Imagine?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
That would be sad. I would like imagine seeing your future self and just seeing how shitty your life would have been if like you just kept on this road of just despair.
Yep.
Like it would just be a sad. It would be like you would be sad to even want to get to that day. Be like, I don't want to be 70. You know, nothing to call your own or something.
Exactly. That's it's like you go back to setting goals for your life, and when you remember being in school and you'd have to have those little projects where set a goal for.
Oh yeah.
And it's true, man. If you don't have goals, and you don't have nothing to reach for, you know what I mean. You gotta and it could be something simple like I wanna do landscaping in my yard by next week. Simple goals like that. And I've always told my boys, man, you gotta think ahead, man. You always gotta be prepared. Like, I was so blessed that I was able to keep my job, and I didn't get laid off, and but I have my little nest egg that I've worked on for 11 years. I'm not saying that I'm there yet, but I'm pretty damn close.
See, and I think that's something that you've prepared yourself over like the course of like 11 years that you've been doing this and stuff. You understood at that time was like, okay, this is not easy, and investing in my education is important. And the thing is you've seen the future rather than the present, because so many people are stuck in the now, and they want to be rich now. They want to have the house now, the cars now.
But you also got to think, he's done that for 11 years. You said 21 with the XM?
Yeah.
So he's just a
Adding
busy
on.
dude.
Yeah.
You got to think he doesn't stop. How do you balance? Like, I need this question for myself, because I try to balance this and work.
It's called dedication, man. I mean, everybody out there playing golf. Mm-hmm. You called me a few times. Hey, let's go play golf. I'm out here working.
Yeah, you're busy. You're at the houses.
All my coworkers know that. They're out there playing golf. Disc golf. Hey, can you play? I'm like, dude, I'm out here painting, man.
Right.
I've learned not to depend on anybody now. As long as I've done it. And what people don't realize is while everybody's asleep in their bed, at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I'm cleaning paintbrushes, man, because I just got done painting.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's, you got to really look in the mirror and say, are you willing to sacrifice your time? My brothers and them, hey man, we're going to the casino, man. You want to go? I'm like, it's already instilled in my brain that if I go out of town on a weekend, I feel like I wasted a weekend. I could have done this, I could have done that. So, I hope one day I get to take a break, but I think hopefully I can retire when I'm young and get to enjoy my kids, take them to, I've been able to take them to Disneyland, that was one of my goals.
Oh, yeah.
One of my goals was to remodel my mom's house. She had a 50-year-old house, and, we weren't poor, but, we were on a limited income. It was 4 brothers in a house. We all went off to school, and they all got married and stuff, and my mom, and my dad, and a couple of years ago, I was like, I finally had some money. Took my kids to Disneyland and spent 2 weeks over there, and came back. My mom says, can you help me remodel my kitchen? And so I said, yeah, of course, and we ended up remodeling her whole house.
Oh,
new we gutted it down to the studs.
Damn.
To the studs, and we put everything new, and I can say I was blessed. Fortunately, I lost her in 2018. She got to enjoy it for 2 years, but that was one of my goals. And the greatest thing that I did was, just to see her face and say, son, crying, how could I repay you back, son, what you did for me? I'm like, I could never repay you back, Mom. And that's a memory that I'll carry, cherish it forever.
Right. No, and I think that's, I think that's something that I've actually matured and I've actually acknowledged is the fact that like our parents aren't gonna be there forever. They're not, you know, they're only getting older as we get older. And the thing is I'm not saying I don't know. I guess I have my own opinion about when people are fixing to pass, and it's like a grandma or a parent or something, and then you have those people that are like they're sad, but they're not sad really because that they're passing away, but they're sad that they didn't get to spend the time that they would like to with that person. But the only person to blame is themselves because they didn't take the time while they had them around to spend time with them then, and now that they're regretful in a way. They're like, man, I should have went over there for the dinners every Saturday night or Wednesday movie night or whatever. Like, those moments matter now when you can do them than whenever, you know, when they're 85 and they're on their deathbed and it's like, man, it's too late.
Yeah, I never thought I'd ever lose my mom the day my life changed forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? I wish I could have one more hug, but you know, God had better plans for her.
Right. No, and I mean, that's what something like it sucks to even think like that, but I guess I just want to get to that day. I don't want to get there soon, but I just want to be at that day where I'm like, you know, at least I did what I could when I could.
Right.
Because before, like, I'll be honest, it's been like probably 3 years that I've actually tried to build that relationship with my brother and my family, because I was always in the mix of partying and friends and going out of town and just not caring anything. Like, you'll be there tomorrow, and then finally when I finally took my break and I finally stopped and thought, I'm like, I'm taking a lot of shit for granted. Like, I'm taking my brother, I'm taking my parents, I'm taking life, all these things for granted, and for what? Like you said, sometimes you gotta know when other things are important and when other things are just fun and games, and it's like, you know, I can do that later.
Yep. And that's one thing that I live by is pay now to play later, you know what I mean? It's like, man, you bust your butt now I mean, we don't know, tomorrow's not guaranteed, you know what I mean? But at least I'm doing what I want to do, you know? It's a passion of mine. I really, really enjoy it, you know? I actually enjoy buying the house than actually selling it. That's kind of weird.
Right.
Because when you're buying a house, you're like, man, I'm gonna make all this money. I'm gonna, you know, I got this good deal. Yeah. But then when you're about to sell it, you gotta go through inspections and you gotta fix this, and then the underwriters, and you know, they didn't qualify. And right when you're about to, like I was telling you the other day, I sold a house back in March. You know, it was a house that was completely done. I gave the lady the key because the next following day we were gonna close on the deal. It was a done deal. It was one of my best deals. You know, it was a cash buy. So I'm all excited, man, because you know I'm saving all kinds of money because I'm not paying realtor fees and surveys and this and that, and then we had the home inspection, and there was one of the faucets was dripping. It was leaking a little bit. They didn't catch it because it was just. So he says you got to replace the valve. So I got my guy. He went to Home Depot and bought it. That simple fix. And the lady was there, you know, seeing that we fixed it, and gave her the key. The next day she comes in, there's water everywhere, and I'm fixing to close on the deal. I guess he pushed it in too hard, or it must have did something to the other pipes behind the wall, so it started leaking everywhere. So all the hallway floor was wet.
Dang.
Brand new flooring, man. So that's just another deal like that. I'm like, what do I do? I talked to the lady, like, do we just dry it up? Do I leave it? I said, I can't do that, man. Let's tear up all the floor as far as we can go, where the water went. Because I'd hate to sell you a house, and you bought it, you know, at the price and at the full price, and then you have something like this, and for me not to take care of that,
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep at night. And that's not the type of person that I am.
Plus, you talked about reputation.
Reputation.
It's
yeah,
like,
so-
yeah, Ernie came in,
Yeah,
got my money, and
you know.
this whole thing was sold.
No, I took it upon you. That's one thing. You know, most people have just left it. But you know what happens 2 months later down the road with the heat and the floor buckles. You know, I couldn't do that, man.
Nah.
So you know, it cost me money, but you know what? I did the right thing. And that's what you got to do in this type of business. You have to do the right thing.
See, and that's where the ethics come in, because you know what's right and what's wrong.
Exactly.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
But it's the ethical, like, conscience you have
man.
is whether or not you're going to do the right thing, when, especially when no one's looking. No one's going to pat you on the back, or no one's going to high-five you or
Right.
nothing. It's
Right.
about what's your ethical decision at that
Are
moment.
you gonna be able to sleep at night?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Not everybody makes that choice, man. Most people would have been like, you know what, we'll dry it up, but that's the best we can
See,
do.
that's the thing, man. With this, these
Absolutely.
millennials, man. I think the phones ruin these kids, man. These PlayStations, all this stuff, man. Because, like, we didn't have stuff. We had Ataris, man. But my parents didn't let us play,
All
you know,
day.
all day long. And back then, you didn't have to worry, you know, being 12, 13 years old about, you know, being in trouble because your kid is out there in the fields working. You know, we worked the fields, you know. They used to call it the limpia. I remember at 13 years old, man, in summertime, that was my summertime. You know what? But I enjoyed it. You know, I was out there with my friends, and we were out there working
Damn.
and making money, 110-degree weather, and man, but you know what? That was instilled in me as a kid. You know, my parents used to clean the bank there in Hagerman, and my dad would get out of work at 4 o'clock, and 4:30, man, he was at the bank, and we had to be there. So Hagerman's a small town, so we'd always be at my cousin's house, and my mom, all she had to do was yell, Ernie! So we like we're out there throwing the football on the street and stuff, and riding our bikes, and we had to go to the bank and go clean it.
Dang.
We did it every day, you know, as I grew up as a kid. But, you know, we didn't get paid because we were obligated to do that, you know.
Right.
We helped the family. So I got wise and I said, well, if I go get a job and I'm making money, then I don't have to come work. My brothers will have to do that. So I got smart. So in the summertime, I'd go out there and work the Olympia, and I'd come home all tired. But that backfired on me because when it came to, you know, to buy school clothes, my mom says, well, you have money, you can buy your own clothes. And I'm like 13, 14 years old. My brother that didn't work, man, he got all the school clothes, man. I had to buy my own stuff. I got gypped.
Yeah, that wasn't a fair trade at
Oh,
all.
nah, come on, Mom. You're supposed to give me more. She said, I don't tell you something.
Well, at least let you keep what you got.
Hey, but you know what? I'm blessed. You know, for her being the way she was with me at the time, you know, that's why I am the way I am. You know, I've been successful. I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed, and it's only getting better, man. And you know, I want to bless other people, man. That's why, you know, us getting together and see if we can.
No,
help
I think
somebody
this
out,
is
man.
gonna be a big thing, man. I think we're gonna make a big of a difference to the point where hopefully we can make this something into maybe an annual thing, or
Oh, definitely.
you know, something, maybe whatever, I don't know, but either way, like I don't ever do anything, like this is something I taught myself, but I never lend money I need right back. Like,
Right.
like I'll never let someone, like if someone's like, hey, let me borrow $20. If I let you borrow $20, it's with the intent and the thought, like, pay me when you can. Not tomorrow,
Exactly.
not next week. It's just when you can. Like if you bet me money, that's different. You owe me money.
You owe me money.
You owe me
You don't pay me
money,
some money.
bro. Because
We
it's
all
the.
know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But you know,
But you're right. Like I said, like if I bet or if I let you borrow money, it's with the intent like you pay me when you can, man.
yeah.
Like I don't need it. You need it. I'm okay.
Hey, but it's funny that you say that because my dad, you know, he'd always tell us that. My dad, you know, they call it, you know, te doy un consejo, you know, I'll give you some advice, and you can either take it or whatever. It's advice.
Right.
And my dad would always say that, man. He's like, shh, you know, I'll give you the best advice, and you can take it the way you want it. Or,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, I just kind of taught myself, like, if I can't give you the 20, I won't give you the 20. But if I can afford to give you the 20, I'm giving you the 20.
Yeah, don't expect it. You know,
Yeah, like,
if you loan it to somebody, or you do something, a good deed for somebody, don't expect it right back from that person.
yeah, because you might get it from somewhere
somebody
else.
else,
That's exactly, that's how I am too, is if I bless somebody with, maybe they need to move some furniture or
Help them with
something.
their car, change
Yes.
their tire.
I'm cool with it. I don't expect you to pay me back. You don't owe me.
Yeah.
I'm sure somehow God will bless me
And he will.
in a different way.
In a different way.
And I'm okay with that.
In a different way, yep.
That's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really loan money out like that though.
Me neither. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I've always had that embedded, is like, you never land anybody anything with the thought that if you need it more than they do, then don't let them borrow it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever lent money, actually money out. So.
Well, that's I had a friend, you know, they hadn't seen since we're like 13, 14 years old. They moved back to California.
Uh-huh.
Well, now with Facebook, you know, you can communicate with people, and well, you know, he hit some rough times, you know, and he has brothers and he has a sister and mom and stuff. But he called me up and he says, "Can you know, me and my wife, whatever, can you loan me some money to help me stay at a hotel?" And I could have said no, you know, like, you know, but you know, there's a reason why he called me. You know, if he doesn't pay me back, he won't ever ask me for money again.
Right. People at least do that much.
You know what I mean? At least if I have it, you know what I mean, and your intentions are good, you know what I mean. You know, like people out there, you know, begging for money, asking for money. You know what? If God softens your heart and you have to double take and look at that person again, and you have money, and you don't give, you'll feel worse about yourself. You know what I mean? And you can give that person the money if God puts it in your heart, because
Right.
God will deal with you. You know what I mean? And whether they go and spend that money and they go and buy booze with it, now that's between them and God. You know.
Right.
But at the moment, God puts it in your heart. You know, you have to listen to God. You know, you have to listen not with your mind but with your heart.
No, I agree.
Mhm.
No, and that's a good way of putting it, is like in that moment, it's you and God, whether or not you give this person whatever you can afford or whatever it is. And like I've learned too, is people have a tendency of like, oh, that church isn't good or that church isn't good. To me, it's like, I don't care about any of the churches in that light. I'm there for my relationship with God, and that's it.
Right.
Like, I can't be held responsible for so-and-so over here if they're cheating on their husband or wife, or this person over here, you know, doing drugs, or this person's a liar. I can't be responsible for any of those things except my own actions.
Exactly.
If I have to hold myself accountable when it comes to God, and that's it.
That's right.
So, nah, I get you, man. There's so many life lessons out there.
Life lessons, man. And I was blessed to have good parents that, you know, they didn't have a whole lot of money, man, but what they instilled in me is priceless. I really
Yeah.
believe that. I mean, my mom, she always said, you know, my boys, maybe we didn't go to college, and we went to college, but, you know, just school wasn't for me.
Right.
But, you know what, you'll never find my record, you know, in jail. I was in jail, or I did this, or I did that, you know. And, you know, my reputation goes a long way. You know, I'm not the perfect person, but my girlfriend thinks I'm a stinker sometimes, but hey.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you know, like, I'm trying to be perfect. So we have our good days and we have bad days, but I still love her.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Maybe one day I'll be able to say that. I don't know, man.
Come on, guys.
I mean, marriage is in the thoughts. Like,
I'm invested in myself.
like the thought of marriage sounds good.
I'm about to pull a Rodman and marry myself. Fuck it.
Like, I think of it and I'm like, yeah, it sounds good. It's just the fact of finding someone that wants. It don't even have to be the same thing. Just the relationship.
The
part.
relationship, you know, you gotta be compatible. You have to. I'm like, man, if you're a Trump supporter and they like Hillary Clinton, man, you're not gonna get very far. You know what I mean?
But even then, I don't feel like that should divide two people. It's about if I hang out with you and you hang out with me and you have a good time and I have a good time and we're able to mesh. That's what. If you have differences like that, I don't care about that.
That's the thing. You have to. You don't talk religion. You don't talk politics because those are
other things that are off topic.
That's the only thing I talk about on first dates.
Yeah.
Like, what religion are you? Atheist? Oh, I can fuck with it. I just play.
No, I don't know. I feel like you gotta compromise a little.
You have to, man. That's what being in a good relationship. I mean, there's no perfect relationship.
No, there's not. So as long as you're willing to give a little and you take what they give you, that's fine.
Yeah.
But not finding that right one.
That's it. Man.
Yeah.
Nah. And then nowadays with these girls, I don't know, man. It's hard to find. Like girls, I feel have taken the being single more these days.
Yeah.
Like they taken it to a new level.
See, that's where you're messing up, bro.
What?
We know you don't like girls, so stop capping.
No. It's just it's different.
And you can't say nothing because you're what do they call it, male chauvinist. You know, you can't say, well, a woman should be cooking and cleaning.
No, and I don't think that's very old school.
That's
very old school.
It should be 50-50.
No,
50-50.
they need to be in the kitchen.
Nah. Nowadays, like that all. But see, even then, like back in the day, marriage was important. Like back in the day.
Yeah,
like,
you didn't divorce.
No, you didn't. You went through it all the whole time.
Yeah.
And now, but I feel like even now, it's at a all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It is
I see so many people like my age and so that they're married and divorced in like a year.
It's because it's so easy to get divorced. You know, people don't value marriage anymore.
I don't think they know what marriage is.
They don't know what marriage is. It's a commitment between you and your spouse and God. You know, if you don't have God in the mix, and that's, you know, that's the foundation of a marriage. And you know, my brother, he's blessed. He's been married, I think, 21 years, and that's, you know, he's a Christian man, and he says, man, you know, when you put God first, and then you put your wife, and then your kids. You know, you both like that, you know, because the kids grow up, they leave the nest, and you're still with your spouse, you know.
Right. No, that's super.
You're not convincing me. This does not sound convincing.
It's just, but that's the thing is like I think. Like nowadays, everybody wants that quick. It's almost like chasing the quick dollar, like the quick buck.
Yeah, quick buck.
People want to chase the quick love. Like they want to be in love like immediately.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I love you. You love me. Let's do it." And then they don't give time for like to know that person.
Yeah.
So then they're married, they're living together, all this stuff within like a year or two, and then they're like, "I don't like you. I was so wrong."
I'm the wrong person to be giving marriage advice.
No, I know. I'm just saying like that's, I don't know, we got on the old school topics and I was just like, that's just one of the things now. Because I feel like I'm very old school.
And that's the way I was too. Like I you know, my first wife, you know, I wanted to be married forever. You know?
Right.
You know, but it didn't work out that way, you know. So you can't stop living, you know. You gotta just get up and move
But
on.
you seeked love still after and you got remarried and stuff, right?
I didn't get remarried.
Oh, you're not married?
Well, I've been married twice and divorced twice. But
yeah.
I blame it on real estate investing.
Well, I don't know.
But it has its perks, you know. So
No, you're good. I
so
mean,
I'm like, hey.
I mean, I'll put it out there. I broke up with a chick because of Fortnite.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we all have our reasons, bro. Kinda. It was kinda.
Mine was
It was
because
kinda.
I was overworking. And,
Was it a good idea for you? It was a good investment.
Hey, man, it was a one-time deal.
Fortnite?
Yeah. No, the girl.
Oh, okay.
Fortnite's still around. Loyal.
I heard that.
I just say, nah.
Shoot.
No, but I'm glad that you wanted to do this. Like, that you pitched this whole idea.
Yeah, man. You know,
What inspired, like, what? I don't know how to put this.
to say it. What inspired you?
When you wake up in the morning, what's something that you think about, like first thing, top of the morning?
Like, dang, I have to go to work again.
Is that really what you think about?
Yeah, really, man. Like, after 21 years, you're like,
How do you keep that fire, though? There's got to be something.
You know what? I mean, it's like, it goes back to your goals, you know?
Okay.
You know, you have your children, you know, you want the best for them, and you do anything for your kids, man, and you know, 2 of them are already grown up, they're already adults and stuff, man, but I still got 2 little ones, and you know, I want to do stuff that I never got to do, you know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know, I've always been a hard worker, I've always, you know, never been, you know, there's times I go late to work, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I don't call in, I don't, you know, I just have a good work ethic, and that's something that I hope my kids can look back one day and say, you know, my dad busted his ass. You know, he has what he has because nothing was ever handed to me, man. Nothing. All my deals, I've lost money in real estate investing, and you know, if you can lose money and still survive, you know what I mean. And that's one thing that my dad to this day, you know, he said one day, you know, it's just gonna unfold for you. Everything's just gonna fall into place, and it's starting to happen like that. But not to say that it can collapse. You know, you have to stay focused on it. You know, this is the type of business that you have to be focused at all times. Markets can change. You know, you gotta be able to survive when the market is bad. You know?
See, and I think that's something that maybe not a lot of people know. I don't even know if it's like, it's not a factual thing, but at least my perspective of life is like it's constantly up and down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about, if you take care of things when you're at the top, when things go to the bottom, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, it sucks, but it's just a constant wave of.
Don't ride the highs too much, because when it hits the low, you're gonna be kind of fucked right now.
You're gonna be screwed.
Well, it's kind of like back in when I was telling you 2009, 2008, when George Bush was whatever.
Yeah.
You know, when we had that real estate market crash, because it'll crash again, and probably within the next 6 months, it's gonna get pretty bad. You know, hopefully not. You know, hopefully the oil field will kick back up. But in cases like that, you know, if the oil field doesn't rebound back, all those new houses that sold, and they can't pay them, you know, they go into foreclosure.
So then they're going to be out there for like people
that
like you.
Are investors that can pick up those houses for 50 cents on the dollar.
Right.
Those brand new houses, what do? You rent them out. Because people still have to live. That's why real estate is very important, man. People don't realize everybody has to have a house.
Right,
You know,
you have
real
to have
estate-
somewhere to live.
Yep, and you can make money on a down market and an up market. That's the good thing about real estate. But are you willing to sacrifice your time? You know, like I said, it took me 10 years, and I'm still not there, man. But I think I'm better off than I was 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everything that I've ever had, you know, I've worked hard for. But I've lost money, man. I've taken some losses, but I was able to bounce back. You know what I mean?
See, but I don't think people see that either. They probably don't know you've taken losses.
Oh.
They probably see you, you know, flipping houses and working in Excel, and they think you have it, you know, just made.
Yep.
Like everything's always just so grand in your life.
Oh,
But I
that's-
mean, if they were to really get to know you, they would see you've been on that wave. It's been good. You've taken losses. It's been, you've sold a nice house. You've lost money on this house. Like, it's not always good.
Just not always good, but then there's times that it's very good, you know what I mean?
Right.
And the only ones that know what I've been through is my kids and you know, the people around me, my family.
Right.
And I was blessed to sell that house after, you know, right away had a buyer for it, and I was able to put it into another house, and man, all I did is clean it up, and I had a buyer the next day. Boom,
Boom.
just word of mouth.
There you go, man.
And those are the blessings that I talk about.
Right.
And you have to look at life, man. You can't hoard things, man, and money's one of them. Not saying that I'm gonna go give everything that I worked hard for everybody. No, bless the people that need to be blessed. You know what I mean? Because maybe they have somebody that's gonna see, or you have a kid that doesn't understand blessing of people. Just your act of kindness, man, goes a long way. Maybe somebody hears about it and they get inspired to do something. It's like, where they do that pay it forward. Somebody pays for somebody's lunch behind him. It just it makes somebody's day, man.
That's what I did, because the other day Mom and I went to McDonald's or whatever. For whatever reason, they were like, hey, it's on the house. Nobody paid for it, but the boss was like, I guess some stuff was going on and they couldn't help me.
He's a recurrent customer.
No. And so then they were like, they said whatever, and I was just like, you know what? I don't need it. I'm gonna pay for the person behind me, just cause.
Yeah.
And that's how I didn't have to. Most people would have been like, oh hell yeah, fucking free nuggets or whatever. But for me, I was like,
from some free nuggets.
Fucking free nuggets. Yeah. But I was like, nah,
no sauce though.
You get your Happy Meal, like, and you get a girl toy, like, come on.
Yeah, at least you could have looked in the car, seen I was a boy, and given me a boy toy.
It's hard to tell nowadays.
What?
Which one's a boy and which one's a girl?
Why is there not no sex toys? Like, I mean, like, gender. Okay, it's motherfucking Happy Meal. What Happy Meal you getting, motherfucker? You trying to get all these sex toys? Isn't there like a big adults meal? I've seen this on Facebook.
It's called Pornhub, buddy. You get your mind.
Okay, anyways, paying it forward. It's just those. That's how you. I don't know. Like we've said probably multiple times already. It's like you just do things out of just pure kindness.
Just do it, man. And God would put you in places that I feel like He tests you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because man, if you're like, I have $20 and like, do I up this? But you know what? When you do it, and man, I think you feel better about yourself, man.
Right.
And there's times that, like, wow, or like this house over here, sold real quick,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a blessing from God, I think, it's like,
he's like, you're putting in hard work. Here's an easy one.
Here's an easy one.
Like,
yeah.
you deserve it, and and see, but I think that's important because people don't acknowledge that.
Yeah.
People think like they have their own beliefs. And they're like, oh, that was just luck, or that was just a coincidence, or you acknowledge it's God.
Yeah.
You're putting God first, and it's like that's a blessing.
Because you have to humble yourself before God, and when I first started, flipping houses, man, there was like, we're taught when you go to these seminars, you find the deal, even though you don't have the money, you find the deal, the money will follow the deal. You have to believe that. A lot of people think, oh yeah, how am I going to get $70,000 to purchase this house? But if you've done your homework and you've done your due diligence and you're going to make money, you'd be surprised because there's different ways of funding. And banks won't loan you on a house that's destroyed, whatever. But if you know somebody that has their house paid off, hey, you want to make some quick cash? You know what? You refinance your house. You pull out all your equity. You know what? Let's purchase this house over here. We'll go 50-50 on it. And you pay back your house. And now you just made yourself $30,000 profit. Like, who's not going to want to make $30,000 in a couple months?
Yeah.
You got to get creative. And I'm not saying that's one. There's people that have IRAs. I mean, there's people that have good credit, that are willing, but it goes back to your education, how much you've learned, and you have to really, really study what you're doing, man. And it's not easy, man. It's not easy. But if you're willing to do all the legwork and do all this, because when you go to those seminars, they tell you, what, we can show you exactly how we do it and how we're successful, but you have to do the legwork, man. You have to go out there and make it happen. A lot of people, I didn't become a millionaire. I've been at it 6 months, but people give up. People give up, and then they tell you it's not an overnight success.
But nothing really is.
Nothing
like,
really is.
if it was that easy for anything, then all kinds of us would be millionaires.
Yeah.
If making YouTube was easy, everybody would be a YouTube millionaire. If flipping houses was easy, everybody would flip houses and be a millionaire. If being president was easy and you could be a millionaire, you'd be president.
Well, Donald Trump kind of.
He was already a millionaire before that, though. He had established his businesses and he became president. And I guarantee he's probably thinking.
I thought you never mind.
You're thinking because he had $1 million to
Yeah,
start
I
this.
was like, oh,
But
there.
yeah, but you know he's young. $1 million. Anybody else would have blew it.
Yeah, exactly.
And he invested it into
And he's probably thinking being president's harder than all the other stuff I've done.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking that like, screw this, I got another term probably gonna come up. Like, yeah, that's 4 more years out of my 70-something odd life.
Yeah.
That should.
But that's what I mean. If anything I think it's when you put yourself in tough positions and you succeed, it's when it means more. It's people that think things are easy and that's when they fail.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that wasn't, like you said, 6 months I'm not a millionaire. Well, it's not easy. It's not 6 months. You've been at it for 11 years and
still I'm still not there. Still
not a millionaire.
I'm still climbing the ladder, but it's God's destiny that I become. Maybe I'll learn something along the way.
Right.
Maybe one of my kids learn something of what I've done.
Right.
And like I tell my boy, like, man, you could learn from your dad and learn how to do all this stuff. I dedicated my life to what I do, and it's been a journey, man. I've learned. I've hit a lot of bumps in the roads. I've dealt with a lot of people. But there's one thing that people that have worked for me can never say is I've never held money away from them or I didn't pay them. I've been screwed over so many times, and that's another thing. You have to have a thick skin. Roswell's a small town. The word gets around quick.
Right.
And, people are out there to screw you every which way they can. It's hard to find an honest person. There's not very many people.
That's true, man. That is the most true thing you've said probably today. Is that the lack of genuine people has grown very small.
Very small.
Very small. When you meet somebody that's a genuine person, whether it's work or it's a friend or it's whatever, it's very hard because people get jealous, egos get in the way.
They want to steal.
Just everything surmounts to being that person that you're like, man, that sucks. Like you just screwed me.
Yeah, I was talking to this one guy and, plumbers, they go fix a faucet for a little old lady and they want to charge her $200. Like, why can't you just do it for free? You're not going to go broke. It took you an hour to change that
valve or whatever.
Valve, and you want to charge $200.
So an old lady that probably barely had $200.
But when it comes down to the ethics, morals, man, my mom used to always say, the people that try to get everything money, this and this and that, their money never lasts. They're always looking for that quick buck, try to rip this person or do this. But the people that humble themselves before other people, man, you never see them struggle, man. And you always there like, man, what is this? And that's just, dude, it's just from experience, man. I've learned that.
No, that's good. That's something that I feel like a lot of people need to learn. But I don't know. I don't think that's something you can learn. You can't teach ethics. You can't teach people to be genuine.
Well, you can't teach it. It can be instilled, but people can. You can set the example.
Right. And I've always been a stickler for that. Is like, if you got a job, it starts at the top. So your boss or supervisor, manager, if you see them doing things, then that's how the morale in there is gonna be. Right. It's like on a football team, whatever. If the quarterback is partying, you're going to think partying all night before the game is the way to go. But if you have like a supervisor that, maybe you're stocking all the food and stuff and you see that person doing the stocking too, you're going to know like, okay, he's doing the dirty work. I'm going to do the dirty work too. Like that's how morale's set a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
And when people don't do that, I think everything gets all, and then you wonder why you have a bad business, a bad football team, a bad this, because the leader is supposed to lead by example.
Exactly, and that goes for all of us, you know, individually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're the captain of your own ship. You know, you steer it away from everything else, or you're gonna let it sink. You know, you have to think like that. You know, and you have to look at yourself in the mirror like, man, you know what? I am successful. I can do those things. You know what I mean? You have to set those goals high, man. You have to. You can't do, oh, I can't reach that. I don't have the money. I don't do it. Man, you know what? We live in the greatest country in the world. The roads here are paved with gold. We just got to find it. You know what I mean? Everybody has the same opportunity, man. I see people that come from Mexico over there, over here, and you know they live in a 2-bedroom house with 15 people and stuff, but they work together. They had that common goal. They want to start a business. You know, these restaurants, that's how they start. You know, I talk to the guys. How do you do it? He goes, man, it's easy. You know, once you get all established and then you have money, then you can go to the bank. The bank will back you up, and that goes for anything, man. But we just have this mentality that we're taught from being in kindergarten that you have to go to college to be successful. Or you know what I mean? That's the biggest lie that they can. You know what I mean? You want to become successful, whether it be a welder or an electrician or a plumber. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's
all about the drive.
It's all about the drive.
If you got that ambition, then you can do anything pretty much.
Yeah, and when you're doing good, you're gonna have a lot of haters. A lot of people are gonna say you're cocky. People are gonna say you're this, you're that. Oh, you just think you're all that. You know, you know, it's just, you know, because they see that you have a nice truck, you have a nice house. Man, I worked hard for that, you know.
They don't acknowledge that though.
Yeah.
They just think you're given that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like overnight.
Maybe because you're a believer of God, that God just like, here's a nice truck.
Ernie,
here's a nice house, Ernie.
I saw you pay for that lady's phone bill. So.
Yeah.
So
here's your truck. I wish it just worked that way.
But you know, in a sense, it kind of does work that way, man.
I mean, I guess it does. It is blessings.
Yeah.
That's true, man. Well, we appreciate you, my dude. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode.
Fun,
again, if you guys want to help with the donations, my Cash App will be at the bottom. We're good to, as soon as this video is out, we will have the screenshot of it all. You guys start to donate whatever you would like. And again, if you know anybody that needs any type of assistance, please let us know, either in the comments, DM us, whatever you feel is, maybe you don't want it out there in the public, that's fine. Feel free to let us know. And like I said, we're going to do it for a week and a week only. So whatever we raise between now and next Friday, that will be the set. And then from there, we will start to, you know, just share our blessings with other people.
Yeah, let's make it happen, man. You know, let's all stand together for a good cause here in Roswell, man. This town is getting crazy, man, but you know what? We can change things.
Yep, one step at a time. So you guys get it started. Please like, please subscribe, share with a friend. That way maybe somebody out there you know can help us out too. Other than that, I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Till next time with the Beard Bros. Peace.